Hey guys, welcome to another Zealfit How To. In today's episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to bench. Now you guys might be wondering, who the heck is this guy? Where's his pecs? Well, I might not look like it, but I'm actually the number one. The first item on the list is shoulder blade or scapula positioning. The shoulder blade is probably the most important aspect of the bench setup. You want to have your shoulder blades retracted, which means they're pulled back, and also depressed. So pull them back and then set them down. Why is this important? The majority of your arch will come from how good of a retraction you can get from your shoulder blades, plus how flexible your lumbar spine is. But if you can get a good retraction from your shoulder blades, that's going to be the bulk of the arch that you have. The retraction of the scapula is important because in that position, your shoulders are more safe to move in that fixed position of the barbell. If you have them protracted, the shoulder space in the joint here is somewhat limited, and that's when you come down here, that's when you'll run into impingement problems. But if you have them set back, and now they can move freely. So getting that position is one thing. It's also crucial that we try to maintain that position throughout the whole lift. We set our shoulder blades into retraction, depress it, and when you're bringing the bar down to press, you want to maintain that position. So you don't want this to happen. You don't want to protract it as you press it up. Again, when you're pressing the bar up, try to hold that retraction throughout the lift. So when we're trying to bench for maximum performance, we actually want to have our wrists slightly internally rotated, which means you have to turn your wrists slightly inwards, which allows you to flare your elbows. So next is elbow positioning. Now we want to try to stack our elbows on our wrists as much as we can. Now of course this is going to vary depending on your grip width. And in order to do this, you have to not over tuck. So we want our elbows to be stacked under our wrists, which means we have to push them out to the sides. The wrong way to do it is if you over tuck your elbows, which will look something like this. Next is butt position. When we're setting up for the bench press, when you're unracking the bar, try to have your butt in the air first, and when the bar is settle your back into the bench, then you put your butt down. The reason for this is because if you put your butt up in the air first, you can actually create a larger arch, and then after unracking the bar, the load will actually anchor your upper back into the bench, and then you can slowly set your butt down without compromising the arch. Okay, so the last item on the list is feet positioning. Feet positioning does play a role in how big of an arch you can get. Now, the popular belief is that the closer your feet are to your hips, the larger of an arch you'll get. That's not necessarily true. I think it depends on the length of your tibia, which is the bone here on the lower leg. You want to find the feet positioning for you that you can feel your legs are most tense with. So this will depend on the length of your legs. And there you have it, folks. So just to recap, we want to have our shoulder blades retracted, and then we want to internally rotate our wrists, and we also want to get our elbows out, so none of that over tucking stuff. And we want to set our butt down after unracking the bar. So not immediately, but after unrack it, let the load sink in, anchor your back into the bench, and then gently put your butt down. And finding the feet stance and the feet width and stuff like that, it's gonna boil down to your tibia length. So you ultimately have to play around with it, but I would say that the longer your tibia is, the further apart you probably want to put your feet from your hips. And if you have shorter tibia, then you can probably cram it in closer to your hips. Enjoy benching.